My name is Kristy Kim. We started a company about 4 years ago, and our mission was really help immigrants and students who don't have access to credit get started. So we issue credit card that is designed to help you build credit score as fast as possible.
I'd love to know from you personally, what was your background that sparked this idea and the story behind it?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Seoul, South Korea, and I am the first generation in a way that my parents never moved to the US, and they are small business owners in South Korea, so they had to stay in Korea. And I remember as a young girl, I declared to my parents that I want to live in the US. And my parents are like, okay, well, then you have to figure out on your own, like we can help you with your tuition and everything, but we don't know.
Yeah.
It's like in the US. So they were supportive, but I know that they were hoping that I would come back, or I wanted to come back, but it happened in a way that I ended up staying in the US for a long, long time. And I always thought that no matter your first generation or second generation, 1.5 generation, needing to build credit is universal. And Tomo wants to help young people get started.
100%. And I think there's a lot of generational pieces where, building credit, getting started building credit, it's hard for many different communities. So I totally hear you on that. Leading up to starting Tomo Credit, what were you doing? And what was kind of the moment that sparked you wanting to just jump into this and actually get it started?
Yeah, so I was not the type of person who were determined to start a company. I was not like that.
Okay.
But I definitely had a desire to thrive in my career, because my mentality was that, hey, I came to the US, I am spending time away from home and building a career here. I had this strong desire that it has to be so worth it. If not, if it's just on a regular job for 9 to 5 and just to collect a paycheck, why would I do it here? Right? I can just go back and do it in Korea. So funny thing is, I didn't even know that San Francisco is Silicon Valley, because when I was growing up,
Completely by chance you landed there.
people
Wow.
are not saying that, okay, Kristy, you have to be in Silicon Valley. It's not like that, right? I just when I was 11, I just liked pizza, and then I liked the fact that school was easier here. That's why I just wanted to stay. I didn't really think through. When I was in Berkeley, okay, it's Silicon Valley, and then during the class, some founders came in my business class. And that's how I kind of got to know that, okay, this is Silicon Valley. There are many founders, there are many people. So I was like, oh yeah, maybe, but I didn't really have a big desire for it. I think one job led to the other, and then always I kind of optimized for the most challenging but most rewarding career. So I think that kind of naturally pointed towards whether it's investing or starting a company. And I was actually trying to invest in a company that is doing what I'm doing now, like helping immigrants to build credit, because I saw a big need for it. So I was hoping that someone would do that, and I can simply invest as an investor personally or through the firm that I was at. But I couldn't find. So that led me to actually start on my own, because I thought that, well, no one is doing it, then I will just start one. And I understand my audience and my customers really well. So I thought they would be definitely worth it.
It's really powerful. I mean, one of the questions I was going to ask you is, what came first? Was it the idea, or was it knowing you wanted to be a founder and do your own thing one day? And it sounds like this idea was something that you felt really passionate about and drawn towards, and eventually we're like, I'm just gonna be the one to do it then. I'm gonna make this happen. So that's really cool.
Definitely idea first. Definitely idea first. And then I think I'm a big fan of doing it that way, not the other way around. It's because it's so hard and so sometimes so frustrating. Unless you are so tied to the idea or so married into the idea and the mission, it's really, really, really easy to be tempted to give up. So for me, it was definitely an idea that even though, let's say when I was starting, I thought that, let's say I fail, I have no regret, because this is the idea that I really wanted to give a shot.
Got it. You're saying that because you care so deeply about the mission, you know that it's no matter what worth it for you to take a shot at it.
Yes,
Wow.
definitely. I worked at tech companies before starting Tomo. I think that looking back, it was not intentional. It's not like, oh, after banking, I should do tech to start a company. It was not like that. One led to the other, and I got to see different perspectives. So that's what I really enjoy. So I remember when my parents, my dad was telling me that, oh, Kristy, it's not good to like hop around too much because he's very Korean, like Korean mentality. You should stay minimum 2 years.
Yeah.
But the benefit of, I think, switching and trying different things for me was that no matter how long the stint was, I really gave 100% or 200%. So I really worked really, really hard on every single job I had. So because of that, I got to learn very fast and kind of get to see that, okay, this is how IPO company would work. And IPO tech company would work. And this is what Series A or B company would operate. And then I get to see the investor side, kind of seeing a full circle. And when I did IB, I did M&A. So I met the company when they were about to sell. So kind of gave me really good perspective. But I think one biggest takeaway is that none of us are superheroes. It's just regular person like doing our best job. So I just thought that, well, like investors are not special, founders are not special, or IPO is doing IPO process is not something special. I just felt like kind of getting to see people in different stage of the company. I just felt like it's just big ecosystem. I just get to find something that's most fulfilling for me. And then now at Tomo, it truly feels like everything all clicked together. That I know that doing what I do is 100 times more fulfilling than being an investor. Okay? And being able to build a really diverse team who truly understand our mission. It's way, way more meaningful than being at a fancy consulting or being a partner at a consulting company. So for me, everything clicked when I started Tomo, and I'm very grateful for the entire experience and people who taught me through the process.
When did you start Tomo?
I started 4 years ago.
4 years ago. Wow. So, I mean, I want to talk about this a little bit because you have had a wild 4 years then. You have millions of users and millions in funding. I'd love to know, like, when you think about the last 4 years of the company, at some point, I'm sure it kind of hit, and you might be in the midst of it now, but this intense growth where a lot of things just started clicking and working and really just changing within the company. What caused those things? What sparked those things?
I believe that it goes back to a strong mission. That why do we have to exist? Because in the past couple of years, market was very hot. So there are so many companies. They might have more money or do a better fancier marketing, but I think Tomo, we were able to differentiate us by being so authentic on why we are doing what we do. So when you look at our team, we are very diverse, and we designed the product thinking that this product could have benefited me 10 years ago when I was in my 20s, when I was in school. So because we are very authentic, we've been through the journey of not having a credit score, no credit score at all, and building to 600, 700, 800 credit score. Through that journey, we learned so much. So we are turning that learnings into our current product. I think that really resonated with our audience. So they can tell that, we are really building product for them and in their advantage.
Yeah, it's like being as users first as you can be, because it sounds like everyone on the team really relates to it and resonates with the mission of it personally. I'd love to talk more about that. So your team, how big is the company now? How many employees do you have?
Yeah, we have about 45 people.
45. And I love hearing that you focus on diverse hiring. I think not only does it make sense for your product, but I think, I hear all the stories about in the Silicon Valley, it starts in ideas in a garage, but if your starting team isn't super diverse, it's very easy to have it continue in the circles of never really being diverse. So I love hearing this, and I would love to hear more about your philosophy around hiring and what it means to you to have a very diverse team kind of building this product?
Yeah, yeah. So when it comes to hiring, I always feel like company is giving a chance on a person and vice versa. So I always think that, we are trying it out and then giving opportunities to each other to work together.
Mm.
And when it comes to keeping the team diverse, it was not like well planned from day one, but because of our mission, I think we attracted certain type of people who can resonate with our ideas better. And especially when we are small, the mission was the reason why they joined us despite the uncertainties.
Yeah.
So I think because we had the strong early team members, they are bringing people like them.
Yeah.
So how our team became so diverse. And I don't think about it every single day, but whenever I talk to other founders or go to tech conferences, that's when it reminds me that, oh my God, probably Tomo is the only company who has like female CEO, female CFO, and female chief risk officer. It's like unheard of.
I love that. I mean, I think that, I know what you mean, where it's like, look, I don't operate every single day thinking about how I'm a female. You're just someone running their company, but truly what that stands for in the tech industry. And I'm sure just the talent it attracts just by seeing a really influential female leader. It goes to show how much talent expands when you have teams that are just naturally diverse and not just checking off a checklist or, things like that. So I love to see it. And I love to hear that it just sounds like it was kind of a natural process and that the company is thriving as part of it too. As a founder for the last 4 years now, you've been through the thick of it. What is some advice you would give to other founders who are just getting started or thinking about wanting to start?
Yeah. So for founders, my advice from my own experience is definitely finding a mission that speaks to you. It's not about what the market trend is or what investors are looking for, because these things come and go and so much noise in the market. So really looking inwards is so helpful. So when I came up with the idea for Tomo, it was a lot of looking inwards because I know how frustrated I was when I was getting rejected, despite having a job, despite having money in my bank account. Auto loan companies rejected me like 5 times plus, and I couldn't rent an apartment in San Francisco. I remember being so hopeless and the things that I had to do to overcome that. As long as I know that there are enough people like me that I can serve, and I know that that segment is growing, it's worth the shot. If you are a founder, you want to do it for a longer time period. You don't want to do it for just like 1 or 2 years. So in that sense, it's important to look inwards and see what's most meaningful to you. It's going to differ. It's going to be so different. That's something you are uniquely passionate about. I think that would be the best way to find something you actually enjoy and can turn into a good business.
That makes sense. For you, when you think about the future of Tomo, what's your vision? How do you see it influencing the world one day in the way you want it to?
Yeah, I definitely want to build a brand that resonates with ambitious young immigrants and international students and beyond, meaning any young students, aspiring talent. Because if you look at the current financial industry, all the major players, major credit card companies, they've been around for a really long time, and they are happy when you don't pay your bills on time or the balance on time, because they want to make money from you. They want to charge you APR. So when you forget to pay, they're happy. They want to make more money. So it's always, they are designed to be incentivized when their customers make mistake, forget to pay by mistake. But for Tomo, our identity is more like we want to nurture our customers. We want them to thrive. And as our customers thrive and make more money, spend more money on Tomo credit card, Tomo is making money from their transactions. So Tomo make money from the merchant whenever they swipe the card. So our incentives are actually in long-term financial health of our users. So our incentives are aligned. So I want to make this amazing case study that as a financial credit card company, we can be an amazing brand and company by putting users first, putting users' long-term financial health first.
Yeah. It's like your goal is to help them build their credit, not just make money off of them. And that for many companies, it sounds like that the two of those kind of contradict sometimes. So it's cool to see how it aligns.
Yeah, definitely. And then it's credit card. I see it as just as a starting point because I want to do auto loan, I want to do mortgage. So eventually younger people without credit score, it's fine. You guys can get credit card, get auto loan, get a mortgage powered by Tomo. That's my ultimate dream. In this way, then immigrants or young people are not hindered by not having a credit score.
My last question for you, Kristy, is it's been an amazing 4 years. It sounds like you have a lot of visions ahead, which I'm excited to see play out. What have been just the happiest moments of running Tomo for you? What have been some of the biggest highlights in the last 4 years?
Oh, I would say yesterday because it's very fresh. So I think I would choose that one. Yesterday we had 3 people turning their 1 year and 2 year anniversaries at Tomo. And we had a cake, and then also one guy joined via Zoom because he's remote, and we were kind of going over, and then they get to say something. And one guy said that, oh, I wake up and then happy going to work every day. So he said it's really like, he's really happy. And then I don't know, it's just like, I would kind of want to cry in a way. That's so nice to hear that people are genuinely enjoying what they're doing. So especially in this market, it's so crazy. But at least I know that people who've been with us for a while, like they are saying that they are enjoying, they are genuinely happy. I think that's really makes me happy.